right. Excellent. Okay, we've got another new person that I was expecting. If somebody could give me a thumbs up if they can hear me properly. Yeah? Oh, thank you, Alice. And where am I now? Okay. Yeah, I upgraded my Zoom business account, and so there's a few things that I'm not used to still. Anyway, good to see everybody. We're waiting for one more person. There she is. Great, Lily. So I see a lot of experienced people, and I see Lily, who's not experienced. Welcome, welcome, Lily, and welcome everybody. This will be my last class of 2020. So, so that Lily has kind of an idea what to expect and what we can expect from her. First of all, Lily, I see, oh, great, you turned on your camera. That's exactly what I was going to say. Also, I ask that people remain muted for the class, unless you're asked to unmute or there's some emergency or something, but background noise can be amplified quite a bit, so that's always helpful for us. So a couple of other things then. For example, sometimes I'm looking right here, probably feels like I'm looking at you, connecting with you. Other times I look here, so I've got you guys projected onto my wall, so I can get a better view up here. And then still other times I'm looking down here. So I've got a bunch of screens around me, but never fear. It's not like I'm, answering emails while I'm teaching the class or something. So still one more thing. Oh, my goodness, my video is not on. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ben. Ay. Yeah, so what I was saying earlier, sometimes I'll be looking here, sometimes I'll be looking here, sometimes I'll be looking there. I have you guys projected on my screen. So yeah, I'm looking at a few different places. And then especially for new people, and especially if you're not too used to Zoom, I've found personally that that I'm not so susceptible to Zoom fatigue or Zoom burnout if I look away from my screen when I'm a student taking somebody else's class. Try to find moments when you can look away from your screen so that you're not, cranking your head, straining your vision and all of that. And I will try to talk enough so that you can find moments like that. All right? Okay, I think that's everything you need to know. And if there's more that I remember later, I'll just say it. So here we go. Cat every now and then joins us. So let's begin just by sort of settling in physically, mentally, emotionally. And technology just messed me up on something. All right, improvise. Anyway, here we go. Let's stretch out, expand. Now compress. Inhale again and expand. Press, tighten the abs. Again, expand. And this is expansion and compression simultaneously. I recommend that you close your eyes. And I'll give you a verbal cue when it's time to open them, and then we'll bow in and begin. Deep breathing. And let it go slower and slower. Just focus on the breath. Let the crown of your head reach upwards. Stretch your neck. Right, let's go in. I turn, you continue to face the camera. Show me. Right. Right. All right. Just to stimulate, first the outside of the legs and the inside. This is the yin side. This is the yang side. The outside is for your arms as well. Lower back a little bit. Right towards the toes. No need for deep stretching. Just let's get the muscles warm. Bouncing is okay too, as long as you don't bounce too deep. Try to stretch too deep. Reach the neck and head up. Turn other side. This time leaning back into the side. Other side. Right, legs wide. Again, same thing, stimulating the yin side and the yang. Right, towards the toes. Other side. Down the middle. Right, and back. Stretch the back. Right, other side. Right, down center again. The feet together. Butterfly maybe is the name for this one. Just loosen them up first. Right, stretch. Not too deep. Just find the edge where you're comfortable. Push the knee, open the rib cage. A little more. Other side. A little more. Right, let's loosen the ankles. Other way. And alternate. Stretch the toes. Other way. And lengthen them. Each one individually. And widen them. Right. So massage. Just drop your center right into each spot that your thumb finds. Right, open it up, pounding a little bit. Right, shake it out. Other foot. Other way. And alternate. Stretch the toes. Other way. Alright, lengthen them. Widen them. Massage. Try to keep the chest open while you do this. A lot of people end up doing this, kind of throw off their alignment right in the middle of us trying to get our alignment better. All right, and expose it, pound it out a little bit. Let's shake it out. All right, on your stomach. And raise your chest. To the side. Other side. I alternate. And child's pose. I think it's called child's pose. Side. Other side. Drop a shoulder. Drop the other shoulder. Roll the arm. Roll the other arm. And downward dog. And lift one leg, stretch it way out. Right, other leg. And then the kids call this salamander pose. So hips down, sort of like a plank, but left hand and left foot are right next to each other, with the hand being inside. And then switch, right foot, right hand. Drop the hips. Right. And now feet together, knees bent, like kids call this frog. Okay, let's stand up, loosen the knees. Other way. Please continue. I just want to make sure that this isn't going out. Just continue with the knees. Okay. Got it. Yep. Okay, and towards the toes. I bend the knees again. Reach to the toes. Right, toes out now, knees out, all the way down. Chest. Up again. Same. Up again. Legs wide. Drop a shoulder. Drop a shoulder again. Other one. Then this time bend the one knee. Other knee. And then alternate dropping the shoulders. And all the way down. Other side. Again. And again. This time center your body. And let's loosen the lower back by dropping the shoulders again. But this time stay centered. Right, lower the hips now, as far as they'll go. And then push the knees a little bit to really stretch your adductors and inner thigh. Right, okay, scoop up the air, push it all the way up. Again, all the way up. And again. Loosen the neck, circles. Other way. And side to side. And the other side to side, like saying no. All right, then first of all, let me fix this camera too. Looks like the earth is tilted here in Los Angeles. Feels like it some days. Okay, then, especially since we have a new person, but also even for us black belts, it's very easy to set ourselves up without really any conscious thought. And then you notice that maybe you've got some bad habits. One bad habit is if this back foot is at like 90 degrees from this center line. We don't want that. We want it about 65. So if we think of lines, a lot of us Aikido people are pretty sloppy about some details. So be careful. We don't want this like this back foot here. We don't want it here. We want it about 65 degrees. Front foot we want straight. Sorry. The front foot we want to have it straight. And not surprisingly, we want the right foot on the right side of the center line. We want the left foot on the left side of the center line. What often happens though is this. We're hiding the back foot behind the front, and it's not as stable as this, okay? Then what all of this does to our body naturally is it takes our center line in relation to our partner or attacker. It shifts the center line from here over to here, doesn't it? It puts the shoulders at about a 45-degree angle. Anyway, so again, since we've got a couple of new people and people who are new to martial arts, actually, this is called the rowing exercise, and we want to work on our alignment, posture. Let's draw the shoulders down, and we're using the whole body, the knees, the hips, to take the hips forward and back. And it's called the rowing exercise because we imagine that we're grabbing some oars and then pulling them back to our center. And just like a good oarsman, we don't do this just with our arms. We actually use our core. So we use the knees to shift the body forward and draw it back, okay? So at least one knee should always be bent. Now it's the back knee that's bent. Now it's the front knee that's bent, okay? And normally we're in a dojo where we can yell, and the yelling is a-ho. I can't yell here because my neighbors will get angry. So anyway, here we go. A-ho, 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 a-ho. Okay, other side. Left foot, 45-degree angle. Right foot straight and out in front. Shoulders are drawn down. Let me check one more thing. Yeah, okay. And here we go. A-ho, 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 a-ho. expand. Inhale. Let it out. Again, expand. Deflate. Smooth. All right, so let's start off with Ikkyo, Nikyo, Sankyo. And I've already had some technical challenges this morning with the other screen going off. And it looks like we lost 1 or 2 participants already. So that's odd. Anyway, yeah, we lost 1 at least. Okay, so let's start off with Ikkyo, review what we did last time. And by the way, Lily, a lot of times beginners are kind of shy and they turn off the camera. So if that's deliberate, okay, no problem. But I can give you a better experience if I see you. I'm not seeing you right now. Don't know if that's deliberate. If I see you, then I can give you more feedback. So, but if you really, really feel strongly about keeping your camera off, then that's no problem. So the next thing, Lily, if you don't have a Jo, it's a straight staff. You can either get a broom handle or something, or you can just pretend, okay? And we're actually doing some pretending ourselves. We're pretending that this is another human being and that this is the human being's arm, okay? So right now, let's just use the Jo for those purposes. So our partner is coming towards us. Here's the arm, and this would be a strike just like this, called shomanuchi. And we're going to meet it with the right foot forward and the right hand forward. So we'll deflect this attack upward with this motion, okay? And the feet, the back foot is 65 degrees, front foot is straight. We deflect up, and then we step forward and as we cut down. So we cut down against their arm. Obviously, this human being that we're training with, their legs don't go way up in the air. So actually, sometimes they do. You hit it right. But normally, their feet stay on the ground. Okay? So everybody, we can try that. Go when you're ready. Step forward with the matching foot, and then cut down. Keep your posture as you do this. Forward, down. Forward, down. Good. Continue. Yes, yes. Great. Yeah. Excellent. Yes. And Thomas, you can try deflecting it up higher before the cut. From the cut is looking nice, but I recommend letting it go up. Like when the wave hits the cliff and it splashes way up. Let's see what's going on with this darn other computer. Nope, no idea. All right. Yeah, looks good. Yes, yes, yes. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So really absorb it first. Let it come in, deflect up. So it's still coming into you. Let it deflect upward, and then cut. And your cut is, if your right hand is cutting, then your left foot is stepping forward on the cut. So it's almost like 2 steps. It's almost like inhale, exhale. Inhale to deflect upward, and exhale as you cut down. In fact, literally, you should coordinate your breath in this way. So allow it to come in, allow it to deflect upward. Nice, Thomas. Yeah, yes. Oh, wow. It's like, Cliff, you're going back and forth with technical issues. Sometimes I see it, sometimes I don't. It's kind of the morning that I'm having too. Nice, Ellis. Yeah. Yep. Looks good, Ben. And I'll give you a front view too, especially since we've got beginners. Here. Right here, we let it come in, and we cut down. They come in, cut down. Comes in, cut down. Okay, and then if your knees are okay, we'll take it to the pin. We cut down. So now here's their arm with their hand over here. Their body is here. And then we turn about 90 degrees. And we pin their arm. Keep the chest open. This is usually where people collapse their chest. But keep the chest open. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Or other side. Deflect up. Cut down. Now here's your partner's arm. And pin. Expand the chest as you go. I'll give you the side view as well. Deflect it up. Cut down. Pin. Other side. Deflect up. Cut down. Pin. This looks the models. Yeah. Great. Looking good, looking good. Yeah, nice Cliff. Yeah, yeah. And even if you don't go all the way down to the kneeling position, keep those scapula reaching towards each other. Yeah, good. Good adjustment. Uh-huh. Oh, really? Oh, it's not working. Okay. Wow, we're all having challenges, technical challenges. Yeah, my big screen disappeared, so that's why I'm straining to see you guys. So, okay, thanks, Lily. Thanks for your message. I doubt that there's anything I can do from my side to help you. Chat, rename, nope. No, nothing for me to do to help. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Good. And then Ellis, it depends, of course. You know, we train with human beings when we're not in a lockdown, but most people, when you get to this point, their body will be sort of perpendicular to you. And so that will require you to turn this way. So you're kind of making a what's the word? You're making a right angle turn. Okay, I started facing the camera. I end with my pin facing 90 degrees from the center line, the camera's center line. Usually you can't just push. Once you get them here, it's usually hard to push through them right there. If you make a turn, it's oftentimes quite easy. Of course, yeah, that is kind of case by case, depending on who you're training with and how they move. Okay, Lily, I'm hoping you can send me another message letting me know whether you at least have a stick or not. And if you don't, it's okay. If you do, it's okay, you know, but it just it'll give room. Great. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so that will inform the way I teach. So the camera still looks kind of weird. There we go. Okay, so let's take it into Nikkyo. So Lily, we've got really kind of 5 techniques in Aikido that sound similar. They have the same component, kyo, ikkyo, nikkyo, sankyo, yonkyo, gokyo, and they translate literally to the first teaching, second teaching, third teaching, fourth teaching, fifth teaching. And so what we were just doing is called ikkyo. And then the next one is called nikkyo, means second teaching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, iti, sanshiko. And then ikkyo, nikkyo, sankyo, yonkyo, gokyo. Anyway, let's move on, everybody, to nikkyo. And this is a really interesting one to do on Zoom, actually. I've had some people tell me that since they started training on Zoom, their nikkyo has gotten better. One of them in the Netherlands even went back to her dojo. They had a period where they were allowed to train again. She went back and she said she could never do this nikkyo before, and since my Zoom classes with her, she improved vastly. So anyway, so it starts off with ikkyo. All of the kyo techniques, you have to sort of go through ikkyo to get there. So they're not just about twisting wrists. They're about how we deflect up, how we come through this, and get our partner's arm this way. This whole system informs how the rest of it goes. The rest of it that simply looks like wrist twisting, okay? So nikkyo, again, we start from ikkyo. And when this partner's arm comes down, again, this is his hand, his or her hand, and this is about the shoulder or so. When this hand comes down, instead of grabbing the wrist like this, we're allowing their wrist to come around the back of our thumb. And then we get this twist, don't we? This control. Or on the other side, cut down. And if you keep going down and you keep this angle, you can spin that broom handle or jo right around the back of your thumb. And it comes to this grip. Not over here. Your top hand crosses over your chest. And it's like wringing out a rag. And boy, it just occurred to me that Lily has never felt this physically. So that's really interesting and to a certain degree impossible to figure out how this would feel. But anyway, it's a weird, freaky kind of feeling of pain or control when we're on the receiving end of this. And done well, it's a freaky kind of pain. It's not just a bullying kind of pain. And there's no pain if you don't resist it. So anyway, again, we step, cut, keep the angle, and it comes right around. And I'll do it from the other side. I'll give you a side view so that you can really see the hands. We cut down. Most people bend their wrist this way when we cut down because they want to grab it. And that's the downfall of nikkyo. So cut as if this really were a blade and keep it that way so that the stick rolls over the back of your thumb. Or the other side now. cut. Keep this angle, don't do that. Keep this angle, let it roll over the back of your thumb and fall right into place. Oh, Lily, you're getting there. Now I see a thumbnail. I'll give you a wider view. And then the advanced people who are so used to this, remember a few points. Inhale on the deflection, exhale on the cut. Shoulders down away from your ears the whole time. Inhale, exhale, shoulders away from the ears. Okay? But new people who are just figuring out where to put their feet, where to put their hands, how to roll the stick around their hand, then maybe your shoulders are going to creep up if your brain is already full of this other stuff. So do what you can. And especially during this compression where the hands compress and wring out this rag, especially then we want to expand the chest. So we want to have that, what's the word? The balance. So we've got compression here, we've got expansion in the chest. Most people, they try to hurt their partner. And they squeeze with the hands, they compress the chest, and that might work on a beginner, but after a while they get sort of calloused to it. Okay, continue a little bit. See, nice, Cliff, yeah. Yeah. Ben, it looks like you're bringing this hand up to the middle. This one's certainly, I remember I told you about this strike that we do where it does come kind of to the middle. But this one is different. This really is to the side. There's no, there's no like different style or anything like that. And so this top hand should cross the chest. And it should be up to one side or the other of your lapel. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And drop the elbows too. And then it's going to look really nice. Ah, darn, Lily, we lost your thumbnail now. But hope this is all working for you. Very nice, Thomas. Yes, beautiful. Another point, and maybe especially for everybody. Another point, we talk about this center line a lot since we've been on Zoom. And we talk about how it changes our own center line in our body, especially in relation to our partner. So if we straighten that back foot, raise the heel a little bit to straighten it, then our center line intersects with our belly button, doesn't it? Let's see if I can mark my center line. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay, so now my center line is here. This is my belly button. And so now if my feet are like this, it shifts my hips, and my hips are square to the camera. If I drop that heel and put the foot at 65 degrees, now my center line just changed to here-ish. And of course, Moritz and others, if you've done classes with Numata Sensei, you already know what I'm talking about. But anyway, here's my center line. If I drop the foot, that shifts my body's center line in relation to my partner here. And so when we're doing Nikkyo, this is where we want our center line. Be careful not to collapse the knee. Be careful not to have the back foot at 90 degrees. Okay, and when you're paired up with a human, you can try this. It doesn't work as well. Or actually, if you do this way with your partner, it really hurts. You can really injure them. So this way is effective and safe. Okay, with this center line. So a little bit more. Yeah, nice bend. Yeah, beautiful moris. Yeah. Okay, let's take it to Sankyo now. And actually, no, for Lily's sake, we can't see her, but I think she can see us. I'll take Ukemi. We'll put the sticks aside for a moment. I'll take Ukemi. I'm going to take with my right hand. So I'm coming with an attack with my right hand. You guys are throwing with, or you're deflecting upward and then cutting with your right hand. So if we go like this, will you deflect up? Go ahead, everybody. See, it's sort of contrived and silly. Okay, then they cut down, goes like this, but then they spin it around the back of their knee and up to their lapel. If I stand up like this, so now this is right against their chest. If I stand up like this, Lily, oh man, it really can hurt. It can really twist your wrist. So when somebody gets you with the back of your hand up to their lapel, if you bend your knees and face them, it hurts less. Yeah. And the lower you go, the more you can avoid the pain. The lower and closer, the more you can avoid the pain. Okay, let's do the other side. My left hand, your left hand. I come towards them. They deflect it up. They cut down. And then up to their lapel. And then they compress. And I come closer because they're compressing it. Okay, let's do two more. Our right hands. Right. They deflect up. They cut down. Oh, and then they come around and up to their lapel. Other side, left hand, left hand. They deflect up. They cut down. And then up to their lapel. Okay. Nice. I think that's the first time that we did Nikkyo paired up. Okay, let's go to the next point. Check my time too. Boy, oh boy. Okay, so the next one is Sankyo, the third teaching. And again, we deflect up and inhale. And the same side, foot going forward, we cut down. Don't forfeit this angle. Don't get rid of this angle. Keep this. But this time, instead of spinning around the back of the thumb, we take the palm down the inside of their forearm. Let me show you the other side of it. If I'm the attacker, I'm coming in with my right hand. They deflect up. They cut down. And now, look what happens to my hand and arm naturally. Most people, when you start to cut down, most people don't go like this. They don't leave their hand up here. Usually it comes down here, and it protects the face, by the way, like side benefit. Okay, so it comes here. Usually they'll put their palm, they'll have their palm facing you. And then your other hand can slide right down their forearm, the inside of the forearm, take the fingers. But sometimes we do have somebody who goes like that. Usually if they're tighter in the shoulder, they'll go like that. Still, you can grab their fingers and turn it around. But anyway, so that's the image we want to keep as we do this. We deflect up, we cut down. Now, imagine that this is the inside of their forearm. Take your hand right down it. Take a hold of their fingers. This top hand just lets go, and it takes a hold of the meat of their hand. Okay? One hand grabs the fingers, one hand grabs this. Fingers, and the meat of their hand. For the black belts who are familiar with this then, you know how shifting the weight can make them run backwards over here. Shifting the weight forward again can bring them back over here. So you can play with that if you like. All right, Lily's up. Okay, then the other side, we deflect up, we cut down, let this run down the inside of their forearm, take the fingers, this comes to here. Oh, I'm going into variation with footwork. A lot of the black belts will not just keep this forward, they'll take a step back. That makes your partner really run backwards like this. All right. And by the way, Lily, I'm getting so into these details of how to grab, how to twist the wrist. If you end up losing me on some of those things, you can just keep practicing Ikkyo, the first one that we did with no wrist twisting. Just deflect up, cut down, and that's the end of it. But those who are ready for it, take the fingers, take the meat of the hand, shift the weight back, or even take a step back. Nice curve, yeah. Forward, fingers, and yes. Forward, cut, fingers, and we can take it to the pin. Fingers, hand, and then to get to the pin, you step forward with the inside leg, the top hand, the foot on the same side as the top hand. Step forward, and then turn, and pin, take their arm, get. That's a bit much if you're not familiar with Aikido. That's a lot of detail. Anyway, cut down, fingers, hand, and then forward here. I think I messed something up here. There we go. There. And continue. Continue on your own. Good, Lily. Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay. Then the next step. So we did Ikkyo, Nikkyo, Sankyo, Yonkyo, fourth teaching. Everybody, you can try taking. You could start with the dominant hand. I'm right-handed, but up to you. Try taking this first knuckle, and you can take a hold of your other wrist. Leave this index finger loose, and drive this first knuckle into your wrist. And there's a pressure point in there. Some people are super sensitive, others are not sensitive. If you have this index finger too tight, you'll be feeling something different. You'll just be bullying yourself. So leave this a little loose. And if you've ever had acupuncture, acupuncturists sometimes stimulate this point. I forget what for, but anyway, you can feel a point there that feels kind of a freaky, painful, freaky, weird feeling. And you can move it around, try different spots. It's different for different people, but it's about here in me, like right on or next to this tendon here. Okay, that's about where it is for me. You can also sort of dig around with your thumb. Don't hurt yourself though. Don't injure yourself, doing a Zoom class, Zoom martial arts class, and get injured. Okay, and then you can try the other side too. Yeah, take it easy there, Ellis. All right. So, a very interesting thing for me, and I said this last week too, so bear with me, you guys who were here last week. When we, in fact, everybody get your sword. So, when you hold the sword, we're taught, if the teacher is worth their salt, we're taught not to hold it, not to hold the sword like this, but to roll the hands. Okay, not like this, but we roll the hands so that this same knuckle here is on the top surface of the sword's handle. Okay, and then usually what happens is that this index finger can't be right next to the others. It's somewhat forward and a bit of a space. So holding your sword or your broomstick, as the case may be, really feel that knuckle pushing into the top of the sword. All right. And a good sword cut is not both hands moving, but rather the left hand doing the most of the work. We push up with the left hand, and then we pull down with the left hand. That's the start of the cut, not this. We don't start the cut that way. We start it this way. So the right hand is absolutely stationary. Left hand pulls it down. Then you've got some momentum created, and your right hand goes along for the ride. Simply your right hand is attached to the sword. Sword starts to move. If your right hand is attached to it, that means it goes with it. So practice that a little bit. And especially the more advanced people who are used to this, also think about how that right knuckle feels against your sword handle. The left knuckle too, but especially the right knuckle. Try to keep the shoulders away from the ears as you do this. And also, for what it's worth, if you've got the bandwidth and your brain, we do want that back foot to be straight because we're doing a straight cut, and that necessitates the heel being off the floor as well. Okay, so just a straight cut, so that there's nothing else to think of during it, and keep going. Mm-hmm. And I'll give you a front view. We want to make this cut as straight as possible. So we want to just cut right through the camera. There's a lot of different styles of cuts, but this one we're practicing just the straight cut. Kiriotoshi. Yeah, great, Lily. Nice, Thomas. Yeah. Okay, and let's get our Joe again. Well, Lily, you can just pretend now that your broom handle is once again straight. As a sword, it has a curve, slight curve, and as a Jo, it has no curve. Okay, so back to ikkyo, nikkyo, sankyo, yonkyo. We deflect up, we cut down, and then this hand once again goes to the fingers. No, I'm sorry. God, I did this last week too, didn't I? Goes here. Yes, it goes to the fingers. Okay. And we stretch this. we take up the slack in our partner. We stretch this hand pulling down, this hand pulling up. And at the same time, this knuckle drives in to this spot on the wrist. So this is like getting up into our heads again, but let me do it on the other side. I deflect up, I cut down, I take the fingers, I let go with the top one, and I make contact with my knuckle first. When I let go with this, I make contact with my knuckle. I wrap the fingers around, and then I drive this knuckle through. So you can play with this on your own at home with the sword especially. The sword cut is because of the left hand and the seesaw effect. But if you also think about when that seesaw happens, to let this knuckle drive into the sword's handle, this will help you when you've got this arm here of your partner and doing this. Okay, I'll give you a few more shots from the front. Here. Black belts who are already familiar with this, you can also imagine shifting the weight. Come here, we shift back, and then we shift forward to drive the knuckle through. Up, cut down, take the fingers. I think my footwork was a little goofy on that. Let's see what happens this time. Select up, cut down, shift back, shift forward. Select up, cut down, knuckle, forward. And if you've got enough to think about with the hands and you can't remember to shift back and forward, no problem. It's a little bit more advanced concept. Yeah, good, Lily. Yeah. And again, the attacker comes in like this. You deflect up, you cut down, and again, this arm usually drops down this way, not this way, usually this way. And so here's that point on the wrist for your knuckle. That's what's happening. And even if you can't cause pain, this shifting the weight draws me in and sends me out. Or here, deflect up, cut down, shift back, drive the knuckle in forward. Okay? And I give you some side views. Here, cut down, back, and the knuckle. Like fly fishing, maybe. Go down, and the knuckle. It's all happening with the knuckle. Well, it's all happening with our center, really. That one's good. Here. All happening with our center. Once you become familiar with it, remind yourself about the breathing too. Inhale on the deflection, exhale on the cut. Inhale with the shifting back, exhale shifting forward. Yeah. Nice, Ben. Yes. Great, Ben. Yeah, nice, Thomas. Yeah. Okay, and then Thomas, just one adjustment. Here, and then this comes to the wrist. So you've got everything's going good at the beginning. This is good. this is good, and then this is good. But it looks like the two that I was watching looked like you were trying to do it from here. Do it from here. Okay, not over here, but here. So your top, the side of your body of your top hand. And then you can drive that knuckle through, you drive your knuckle through the person's ribs in a way. Yes, I think so. Yeah. Much better, Thomas. Yes, good, Ben. Yeah. Nice, Lily. Uh-huh. Beautiful cliff. Wow. That was a beautiful vacuum cliff. Your shifting back was really nicely done. Okay, and then Ellis, we just need to reverse your footwork. So, yeah, I guess I'll show you front view. So when you deflect up, that foot moves forward. Okay, my right hand is up and my right foot is forward. When I cut down, my left foot comes forward. And then I can sink back and sink forward. That was the only thing. A couple of them that I saw from you had the footwork reversed, if I'm not mistaken. So left hand deflects up, left foot goes forward. We cut down with a step from the right, and then it's shifting away. Yes, good, Alice. Yeah. Nice, Thomas. Yes. My goodness, I just realized that Moritz is way back there on my other part of my screen, but he is doing fine, of course. Great. Good, Moritz. Holy cow. It is time. We're over time. All right, let's put our Joe aside. And we got to warm down. So let's just sit for a minute or two. If your knees tolerate it, then sit what we call seiza. If your knees don't tolerate it, you can sit cross-legged. You can get a cushion if you want, or not, whatever's, it's all up to you. Never ever injure yourself in the dojo or certainly on Zoom. Here we go, expand, inhale. Compress your abs too. Expand again. Compress. Last one. Expand, continue expanding. Expand the arms. Keep expanding the arms into the palms. So, infinite circle of expansion and compression here. Close the eyes if you like. Hey, let's bow out. Shomani. Hey. はい。ありがとうございました。All right. Feel free to unmute yourselves. And